Hey guys, welcome back to Blake's Takes. Your co-host Garrett here. Today we're going to be talking about the new Thor movie, Thor Love and Thunder, and we actually have a crazy surprise guest of Thor himself. Welcome, Thor.
Thank you, but if you're going to introduce me, you might as well do it properly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant no disrespect. How should I introduce you?
You can call me Thor Odinson of Asgard, or just call me God of Thunder.
Again, my apologies, but thank you for coming on the show.
Of course, thank you for having me.
And so you got your new movie, Thor Love and Thunder, that came out recently.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I'll tell you, Garrett, it's quite an adventure. I have an old flame in the movie, Jane.
Really?
And she spices things up quite a bit.
Yeah, I've heard. She even gets a little power action, doesn't she?
Oh, she is mighty fierce.
So really, Jane's back. Is there any chance of any sparks flying there again?
No, I mean, we'll see. You never know. Just watch the movie.
And speaking of heartbreak, you've had quite a lot of it from Ragnarok all the way through Endgame and even now. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
It's been rough, Garrett, I must say. And especially when Ragnarok, I lost my dear Mjolnir. But come to realize, she's been right here this whole time. I see you've been hiding her from me this whole time.
Yeah, I've been keeping her safe for you.
How dare you?
I even repaired her, so there's no cracks.
Must say, it feels good to be reunited with Mjolnir, although, don't tell Stormbreaker. You know, me and Mjolnir have just been on so many adventures together, and it's hard to put into words what this Stormbreaker! Oh my, I was looking for you.
Quite the love triangle you got going on there.
It's complicated.
Well, Thor, we're about out of time. You got any final words for us before we go see the movie?
Yes, of course. I will say just go into this movie and have a fun time. We got a lot of rock and roll music playing that really gets your blood pumping.
You look good, Thor. Glad to see you could get the weight off.
I appreciate it. And yes, we have a new terrifying villain that we really need to take down, Gorr the God Butcher. If anyone has seen him, let me know.
All right, I'll keep an eye out for him.
And I appreciate you having me on today, Garrett of Midgard.
Well, we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule of, saving the universe and everything to come on our show.
Of course. Now, back to go saving the universe.
All right, you do that. Do what you do best.
Whoa, Garrett, why are you starting without me?
Bro, why you getting mad at me? You're the one who's late. You just missed Thor.
Are you kidding me?
No,
you had Thor on?
Bro, he was just on the show.
Are you kidding me?
Again, don't get mad at me. You're the one who's late.
Damn it! I'll have to catch him some other time.
I guess so. I mean, if he has time, he might not.
He's a pretty busy guy.
Yeah, he is. So what the fuck?
Well, welcome back to Blake's Takes, everyone. I'm your host Blake, with my co-host as always Garrett.
Hi guys.
And if you are listening to this on podcast with no visuals, yes, that was me as Thor. We thought it'd be a fun thing to do. But yeah, it is time to talk Thor Love and Thunder, the fourth installment of this Thor franchise. The first time that we've gotten a fourth solo film from an MCU character.
Just about to say that. Yeah, our fourth installment after he did his original 3-movie deal.
Yep. So I feel like there's a lot to talk about with this new Thor movie.
There is. There's a lot of opinions going around. I feel like a lot of people either love this movie or hated it. But I mean, what was like your overall takeaway? Like, what was like your initial thoughts after walking out of the movie? Like, did I like this or did I not?
Okay, so I am very conflicted on this film because you know me, you know I love Thor.
Yeah.
Right? You know Thor is my favorite Marvel character.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, he's just perfect Thor. And after Ragnarok, I absolutely loved what they did with the character of Thor. I thought that was an amazing movie. I loved what Taika did. I loved the comedy in Ragnarok. And I thought it also had a good balance, though. With Thor Love and Thunder, obviously a very funny movie, but I feel like it did have a tough time figuring out the tone because it had a lot of frightening scenes with Gorr, but then at the same time, it was a very comedic movie, and it was just hard to find the balance between comedic and serious because they did have its serious moments, which I thought were pretty good. But again, even with Ragnarok, with balancing the serious and comedic moments, they still had its comedic moments with Hela as well. I don't know. I'm very conflicted on this one for some reason.
But yeah, I definitely agree with you. I thought Ragnarok did a really good job of balancing that comedy and serious aspect. But Love and Thunder, I feel like it was definitely trying way too hard to be funny.
Right.
It was like there were,
and it was funny though.
And no, like don't get me wrong, the jokes that they put in there, they were funny, but then they also put it in there where I was like, this didn't need to be a funny situation.
Right.
But they turned it into one.
Yes.
It's definitely good to have that comedy aspect, especially when you have a director like Taika Waititi and you have Chris Hemsworth, who's a very, very charismatic person. He's very easy to be funny on screen.
Yes, I was gonna say, given the chance, he's a very funny dude.
Yeah, but I feel like that kind of overtook Christian Bale's gore, which was unfortunate because those creepy scenes with Gorr and his dark humor, like he had a great sense of dark humor and I loved it.
So speaking of that, I want to read off some information that we just found out in the last few days about this movie that'll kind of segue into talking more about, Christian Bale as Gorr.
Yeah.
So the first one is a quote from Christian Bale during an interview about his gore scenes. So quote, "There's an awful lot that I wish was in this film. So much gold that's on the cutting room floor, hilarious stuff and creepy as hell stuff, but we always want it to be family friendly." So there is a decent amount of scenes of Christian Bale's gore that is on the cutting room floor. And that's very disappointing because I really don't think we got enough of gore in this movie.
Yeah, and what was the point of going in that like creepy horror direction if you were just gonna cut it out when you wanted to be family friendly?
Right, yeah.
And I think, and that was like the best part about his performance is how creepy he was, because he's a creepy villain.
Oh, when Christian Bale gets a role, he fully submerges himself in it.
Yeah, he does. And I absolutely, like, one of my favorite scenes was when he was in the cage with the kids, and he was doing that little like story time thing, and he was even, it was like funny, like he was even funny about it. He was talking about beheading, and he beheaded his little monster that he just conjured, and he was like, "What? You liked it a minute ago."
Yeah, no, and his eyes in that scene were really creepy. His teeth were really creepy throughout the movie.
Yeah, that was really good. So with the necro sword like corrupting him.
So we didn't get enough gore, which leads to the next piece of information that kind of got leaked out, was that Taika was told that this film needed to be under 2 hours, as it was 1 hour and a 59-minute runtime. So they were told that it needed to be that short, which is probably why a lot of, gore scenes were cut.
Why would they do that? Why would they? Have they ever done that for a Marvel movie?
They have before. Now, I don't know why they necessarily want it to be this one. I don't know if it's, the new CEO of Disney telling Feige this stuff, because he kind of makes the rules for that.
Phase 4 has suffered, I feel like, and this is like another example of that. But to me, that's absolutely ridiculous, because like 30 more minutes, I could have had 30 more minutes of gore scenes and just been happy.
Even 20 more minutes.
Even 20 more minutes.
20 more minutes. I mean, Thor Ragnarok was what, 2 hours and 10 minutes? You give us a 2 hour and 15-minute film. Honestly, even that would do, because you don't realize how quickly those minutes add up.
Yeah.
But 2 hours and 15 minutes, that can bring us a lot more connection with gore.
Dude, I feel like some gore monologues would have been the key to like making this movie one of my favorites.
And him as one of the best villains that we've seen as well.
Yeah.
Because, he has a pretty good motive.
He has a very good motive.
Yeah.
He put his faith in gods, and his God didn't protect him, let his child die. And then he comes to find out that he was literally just being used up by this God. He didn't give two shits about him.
Yep.
And he's like, all right, that's it. Gods are evil. They don't care about us. So why do they deserve to live? And I mean, obviously he's got the necro sword in his head too, but
because if you look at the plot itself, like that story, it is pretty dark.
Yeah, it is.
They could have definitely had a darker tone throughout the film.
Also, this movie could have been like pretty gory if they decided that like the god's blood was gonna be red. They made it gold, which made it like less, evil looking. But could you imagine that scene in Omnipotent City?
Yeah.
With red blood?
Yeah.
That'd be terrifying.
That would have been bad.
That would have been terrifying.
That would have been family friendly.
That would not have been family friendly. But also, speaking of family friendly, since when has that ever really been a goal of Marvel? I mean, like, I feel when it got taken over by Disney, that definitely became more of a goal.
Yes.
But initially, these were just like, I mean, they're all PG-13, and they're very action based. I mean, I can't see a strong comparison between like how family friendly this tried to be and with like the original Iron Man.
I know. I mean, the last few years, I feel like Disney has been more controlling on how family friendly it should be.
Yeah.
In my opinion. It's funny though, even though how family friendly they want to be, they keep bringing up orgies in Thor movies.
Yeah, what the hell? Like, you're going to talk about an orgy,
Yeah.
but this is a family-friendly movie.
Yeah, but we can't have, too many Gorr the God Butcher scenes.
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense.
I feel like those scenes were cut because they wanted to focus on our main character, too.
Yeah, but
And also,
Here's the
yeah,
thing,
if you're gonna keep it family-friendly and cut scenes, it's gonna be the creepy ones.
yeah. But here's the thing though. Yeah, you want to focus on the main character, but how do you feel more for the main character? You give us more of the antagonist.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. That's like one area where Marvel has always suffered is like having a good antagonist because
And then they kill him off.
because it always ends the same. Yeah,
Yep.
like the hero wins and they don't always die, but in this case, I'm so pissed they killed him off.
Yeah.
That again another wasted character. Like they got rid of Killmonger.
Yep.
Killmonger is another villain I would have loved to see again. They got rid of
And he could have been the next Black Panther.
could have been the next Black Panther. Got rid of Ulysses Claw, another great Black Panther
Yeah,
villain.
yeah. In the same movie as
In
well.
the same
Yeah,
movie,
there was
they
no
just
reason
got-
to kill him
Just
off.
got rid of two great villains.
I mean, there was a reason within that movie, but
yeah, but you could have worked
like
your way
you said,
around that.
he's one of Black Panther's biggest, villains.
One of his best ones, and I thought the portrayal of him we got was amazing.
Yeah.
And but yeah, and here we go again. Gorr the God Butcher, portrayed by another amazing actor, Christian Bale, gone from the MCU. I mean, and of course you can always open things up to the multiverse, but like, why would they bring back a character we just saw we just saw him die?
But speaking of characters, what did you think about Natalie Portman returning as Jane Foster?
I actually loved her portrayal.
I did too. I really enjoyed Natalie Portman.
I'm glad they got to revamp, Jane Foster, and we got to see the mighty Thor.
Yep.
That was really cool.
Yep.
And they even went with the whole, cancer storyline,
Yes.
which
Makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense.
It's in the comics.
It is in the comics, and also, Jesus Christ, just adding more and more heartbreak for Thor. Good God,
my God,
man,
I know.
He can't not lose someone really important to him in like
Right,
every
bro?
movie. I'm
He
like,
can't catch a break.
seriously, why does everybody know? Everyone he knows and loves dies.
Yeah.
It's freaking heartbreaking. Maybe he can hang on to this little girl he just like adopted.
Yeah, I know, right?
At the end of it.
Oh,
but
yes. At least he regained some heart there.
seriously, but oh my God, he's just getting heartbreak left and
know.
right. It's terrible.
No, Natalie Portman absolutely looked amazing too.
She did. No,
she got yoked.
She did, bro.
She did.
She got some big arms going on and everything. I mean, if you're
Uh-huh.
gonna have a sleeveless Thor costume
Yeah.
on, you gotta look good.
And they gave her, oh my God, and they gave her, like godly, hair as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, speaking of costumes, I thought the costume design in this was pretty good as
Dude,
well.
Costume design in this one was great, actually. One of my favorites was his like fur one that he
Yes,
wore
bro, with
on
the
that
fur
on that like
shoulders.
snow planet when he went to go get Sif.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that one, and we only saw it for like maybe
know.
like 15 minutes, but it was good.
I think that was the best Thor costume of
It
the movie.
was, and then he like had to one up Jane when
Yeah.
he showed up on scene, and he even added the extra wings. He made his wings like bigger on his helmet.
And yeah, when they met, I did like how they showed a flashback of their whole relationship and how it kind of went downhill because throughout these movies, they just kind of, tossed Jane to the curb. They didn't really acknowledge it that much.
Yeah, honestly, it was really like up for grabs, I feel like, of whether or not they were going to bring Jane back. And that's like kind of where they wanted to leave it. But now since they did bring her back, they'd be like, okay, let's get them caught up on why they ended up breaking up like after Age of Ultron or whatever. They were still dating in Age of Ultron.
Right. So, that was a really funny part. I did like how they showed what happened in that relationship.
Yeah. And it was funny how Thor was still like so obsessed with it. Like he knew the freaking day of how long it had been since they'd seen each other.
Because it's always been no secret that he did miss Jane.
Oh, he missed her, and he was the one who got dumped. Even though Jane kind of didn't, like, she kind of showed him like, hey, maybe you're the one who left because you just weren't there, but he didn't really realize that.
I dumped her. It was a mutual dumping. Yeah, absolutely loved her. Tessa Thompson back as Valkyrie. I loved Valkyrie in Ragnarok, and I enjoyed her again in this.
And I thought her and Natalie Portman had good chemistry.
Yeah,
they were pretty good together.
A nice
little girl power scene.
Yeah, a nice sister bond that they had. And then we saw Valkyrie engaging more with Korg in this movie as well.
Yes. Oh my God, bro. Korg, as always, he did great. He did great in this one.
Taika,
like freaking, he does the perfect voiceover for Korg.
he does the same voice for like everything.
I know.
It's always the same.
Hey, man.
And another character that we definitely need to touch up on, because it seems like they are going to be having a part moving forward throughout these movies, is Zeus.
Yeah.
And so we got a lot of Zeus during the scene on, what was it?
Omnipotent City.
Omnipotent City.
Omnipotent City.
Whatever. Where basically they go to ask Zeus for help against Gorr.
Yeah.
We see Russell Crowe as Zeus.
Bro, Russell Crowe. Okay.
I feel like a lot of people,
they were expecting a badass Zeus.
yes, it was either hit or miss with them.
Yeah. But with the direction they were going for this Zeus, you know, a washed up, old, fat Zeus.
Yeah.
And hilarious too. I thought Russell Crowe absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, no, going back and watching it a second time, I actually enjoyed Russell Crowe's Zeus even more.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure how I felt about it at first, but watching it the second time, I was like, okay, you know what? That's actually pretty good. Because I thought he actually could get pretty serious.
He did.
When he went up and talked to Thor one-on-one, when he was like whispering to him, I was like, okay, I'm actually taking this guy serious right now.
Yeah, that was good. And also, we even saw more of that in the after credit scene.
Yes. And I'm not going to lie, I thought he was straight up dead once Thor threw Thunderbolt through him.
I did too. How does he survive that? I mean it's freaking Thunderbolt. I get that he's Zeus and it's his weapon, but still, it was right through the chest.
I do hope we see Zeus more. I hope we see we will see him more. But we have whole Greek mythology now in the Thor world.
I find that funny in Marvel how they just like combine mythology. We got Norse mythology, Greek mythology.
Yeah.
What, you know, soon we're gonna see like freaking we got Egyptian gods too.
Yep, Egyptian mythology.
There's more gods. Yep.
Got a lot of mythologies going on.
Mm-hmm. I also want to talk about some of the side characters that we saw in this movie that they brought back from Ragnarok, which I thought was hilarious.
So good.
Freaking Matt Damon, Luke Hemsworth, and they brought in Melissa McCarthy
as Hela
when they did the reenactment of the events of Ragnarok.
That was so good. I was not expecting Melissa McCarthy.
I wasn't either, but I thought that was perfect.
It was.
Oh my God. Just what great cameos.
Bro, Matt Damon as a play Loki is great.
It's hilarious.
I loved it in Ragnarok and I loved it in this one as well.
It was so good. Yeah. And then we even saw like a little bit more of them when everyone was freaking out and he's like my king, should we make a play of the events right now? They need entertainment.
Yes.
Like that's their sole focus.
Says nothing. I didn't hear a no. Neither did I.
And they already get to work. That was a great callback from Ragnarok. That shit was hilarious.
It was funny. And then one more character I want to bring up. Quick spoiler, I guess, if you haven't seen Thor: Love and Thunder, because I guess this is a pretty crucial part to Thor moving forward, in my opinion. So spoiler warning. So Thor gets a kid to watch after.
Yeah.
And this kid is the daughter of Gorr, the God Butcher, as we see at the end of the movie. That's what he wishes, for her to be reborn at Eternity. Yep. You know, Gorr's dying and asks Thor to watch over her, which this little girl is actually Chris Hemsworth's daughter in real life.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
That's so cool. Could you imagine getting to be in a movie with your dad? Oh my God, that's so awesome.
So now Thor is going to be playing a dad role. And I mean, she calls him Uncle Thor. So obviously she knows that.
He's dad.
Yeah, he's going to play the dad figure in her life now.
Yeah. And also, I thought it was really cool. She has, so she basically has like the powers of eternity.
Yeah.
Because like you saw that in the reflection on the water. Like that, you know, the eternity figure that we see Gorr approach, like all the stars and stuff.
Yep.
That's what she looked like in the reflection.
Yeah.
So.
And we see her use some of her powers at the end as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. She used like her laser eyes, and he was like brand new, destroyed.
Yeah. So that's gonna be really fun to see moving forward. I mean, Thor's gonna return. I can't believe Chris Hemsworth is doing Thor this long.
Dude, oh my God. It's great. He loves it though.
He does.
He loves his character.
He really loves Thor. He is Thor.
He is Thor. He is literally Thor.
I'm sorry. I try to watch other stuff with him, like Spiderhead. And I mean, he's good in other stuff, but He's Thor.
Yeah, honestly, there's just some roles that people are born for.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Robert Downey Jr., born to be Iron Man.
And he's a great actor.
Born to be Tony Stark.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is absolutely great in other things.
See, and honestly, I kind of believe his performances in other things more than I do Chris Hemsworth now.
Well, because I think Robert Downey is a better actor than Chris Hemsworth.
I think he is too.
Yeah.
Like, he's just got the fundamentals down.
I mean, just look at him in Tropic Thunder. Not many people would do that, Earl.
Nope, they would not.
No.
He's great in that. I think he's a great Sherlock Holmes too.
Yep, Sherlock Holmes. I thought he was really funny in Due Date. He let his comedic side come out of him.
Yep.
Obviously, we got his older movies like Chaplin, where he plays Charlie Chaplin.
Yep.
Robert Downey Jr.'s got a little more depth as an actor.
I definitely agree.
And here's the thing. I know Thor Love and Thunder was kind of trying to be its own thing from the rest of, the past Marvel projects that we've gotten in Phase 4 so far. But it is really hard to see where Phase 4 is going right now.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's jumping all over. I can't quite grab where they're going. I mean, obviously it was a lot more simple when we had less projects going on.
Yes.
But I have a really hard time seeing how all these are going to come together.
Right.
I don't know if we're ever going to get a huge mashup like we did in Endgame ever again. Or at least not, at least not as fluidly.
Not as fluidly, because we have the Secret Wars that they clearly want to go to.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is really crazy how many Phase 4 projects that we've gotten, because listen to this. The amount of hours that Phase 4 is almost as long as all of the first 3 phases put together.
I mean, it kind of helps when you have shows.
It obviously helps with the shows, but they're just pushing for quantity now and not as much quality. Now, I'm not saying, they don't want to be good. Obviously, Kevin Feige has created a standard for the MCU, but you can see it kind of affecting the quality of these projects.
Disney's definitely affecting it. Bro, Disney is a money-grubbing whore, and they will do anything to make the most money possible. They don't care about how good their movies are, which is really disappointing to see.
Because with the amount of runtime that all these projects have, there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of work on these artists as well in the visual effects department.
Oh, yeah.
And there was recently an article that came out of this like Reddit thread of basically people that have worked on Marvel projects recently, visual effects artists, saying how Marvel has become like the worst client now to work with. You know, demanding hours and crunch times that are just insane.
They're giving insane deadlines, not enough pay, and just expecting the world out of these artists. But this shit takes time.
Oh yeah,
like honestly, that's got to be one of the most difficult jobs in the film industry is working on these effects.
I think it's the most difficult job. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah,
like it is insane. It is insane. It is the most time consuming as well. And it was a lot different when you only had 3 movies out of the year to work on, but now you have, like 5 movies, 5 TV shows all in a year.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
You're bound to cut corners when you're, giving them these crazy deadlines, and like they got to realize it's not possible. Like honestly, I personally don't care if you delay these movies if you give them the proper attention that they need and make them come out well. Because like even if the story's shit, I still want the visual effects to look good.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, the last few projects, I mean, the CGI has kind of been iffy to me. The CGI in Thor: Love and Thunder, it was all right.
Yeah, no, it wasn't the best by any means. No. I mean, like you take the lightning and stuff that we saw in this movie and compare that to like what we saw in Infinity War.
Infinity War,
even Ragnarok. Yeah. Those were both really good.
Well, not to mention the scene where we see Heimdall's kid, Axel. Yeah. His head pops up in the middle of the room and it just looks like it's some TV show CGI.
I know. I don't know if that was like the point with that.
I don't know.
Because he's new to his powers, so like maybe he was like just barely putting his face in there. I don't know.
That just seemed weird though. It was kind
of weird.
And obviously the CGI in the She-Hulk trailer got a lot of backlash.
Oh yeah, that major backlash.
Yeah.
But then Hulk looked fine.
Yeah,
but I think part of that is probably because were probably able to use like old material and use that for him versus they had to create She-Hulk from scratch.
Right. So yeah, you can just kind of see the effect that so many projects is having on Phase 4.
Yeah, and this wouldn't be the first time Disney being guilty of, cutting corners
Yeah.
to save money.
Disney, man, they've become this three-headed monster.
It's terrible.
Owning, Pixar, Marvel,
Star Wars,
Fox now as well. Four-headed monster.
That's more than three heads.
Yeah.
I'm not Disney's biggest fan right now.
No, you've kind of gone on a few rants about Disney.
They're clearly not sticking to their mission of, creating the happiest place on earth or whatever. They're like, or isn't that their slogan? At least for the theme park. That's clearly not their motto when it comes to, their corporate side of things.
Right. Yes. Right. Yes.
Fuck
Yeah.
them.
Anyone who's worked with Disney, I feel like a lot of people have come out and said a lot of bad shit. So getting back on track to Thor Love and Thunder, let's talk about the after credit scenes real quick. So the first one we get is Zeus talking about how no one takes the gods serious anymore, and it's time to change that.
Yeah, they only care about their heroes.
Yes, as he's talking to his son, Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
We are now going to get Hercules. And the second after credit scene, we see Jane welcomed into Valhalla.
And not only that, but she was also welcomed into Valhalla by Heimdall.
It was good. I wasn't sure if we were ever going to see Idris Elba again in the Marvel, because I don't think he was the biggest fan of working with Marvel.
I don't think he was either.
Yeah. So, that was cool to see Heimdall again.
Yeah, a little cameo.
Yeah. But yeah, like we mentioned, Hercules, now we really are, I guess, going to dive deep into the Greek mythology of Marvel.
All gods.
Yeah, all gods.
Maybe we'll have an all-out god war. Who knows?
Maybe. So yeah, there are definitely things that I liked about this film, things that I disliked. Another scene that I actually really enjoyed was when they went to the Shadow Realm and they took the colors away, so it was really like black and white, and it had this very noir feel to it.
Yeah, I liked that, and I also liked the attention to detail with the hammers and stuff. Like only around the weapons is where you could see color.
Yes.
So only around Mjolnir, Thunderbolt, and Stormbreaker, you could see like a little bit of color, which I thought that was a cool addition to the whole black and white effect.
And I don't know if it was just me that thought about this when the scene happened in that same scene in the Shadow Realm, when Gorr, called his shadow monsters, and they were rising from the ground. It almost looked like old school, almost like Beetlejuice. I instantly thought of Beetlejuice when that scene happened. And the I forget what it's called, like the sandworms or something in Beetlejuice or whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Because it had like kind of a cheesy feel to it, but it had that horror aspect as well.
Yeah. But then when the monsters came out, you're like, oh shit, this is real.
And then again, that scene with Gorr was great.
It was. Biggest flaw of this movie, not enough gore scenes.
Not enough gore.
I really hope they release like an extended cut or something.
That would be really nice. Like if once they release this on either DVD or Disney Plus, they give us an extended cut of it.
If there's an extended cut with more gore, I'm all about it. I'm 100% buying that.
And honestly, just that extended cut could probably move this up the ranks for me a lot.
Legit. Like, yeah, no, if I were to give it a rating right now, I'd probably a Rotten Tomato score, let's call it. I'd give it like, let's call it a 72.
I was just gonna say 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Seems pretty fair.
All right. So I'll give it a 72, but I guarantee you give me more gore, that'll up like 10%.
Yeah, for sure. So let's do, a few rankings of where this Thor film lies. Now, out of the Thor, what is it called? Quadrilogy now. Where would you put Thor Love and Thunder?
Second,
yeah.
It doesn't really have much competition other than Ragnarok.
Yeah, no.
And Ragnarok, I thought, it was better. It was better. Let's just put it at that.
See, for some reason, I think it's way better. I don't know. I
love Ragnarok. That's a top 5 movie for me.
Yeah.
So, it is way better.
Yeah. Ragnarok was very good.
And then its only other competition is Dark World, which is worst Marvel movie. So
yeah. If you have Dark World near that, like there's great moments in Dark World with Loki and Thor and his mom, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Villain was absolute ass cheeks. So if you have Dark World anywhere near these two movies, please don't.
Yeah.
And then Thor 1 was just pretty boring.
Yeah. Like literally he doesn't have his powers for like 80% of the movie.
Yeah. So I would have obviously Ragnarok at the top, Thor Love and Thunder, then Thor 1, and then Thor Dark World.
Yeah.
But now let's take a look at the Phase 4 movies. So we have Black Widow, We have, which I don't even really want to count that as Phase 4 because it's going to have nothing to do with Phase 4.
It has nothing to do with Phase 4.
So should we even count Black Widow as Phase 4?
I mean, maybe the only thing that's come back is Yelena.
Yes, Yelena.
And
but that's it,
and maybe David Harbour later.
It's a Red Guardian.
Possible.
Yeah, maybe more Taskmaster.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a few aspects in there. Okay, but I don't know if you want to sit here and list every single Phase 4 project that went on.
No, I was going to say just the movies themselves. So we have Black Widow, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, and Thor Love and Thunder so far. So we got 5.
And Shang-Chi.
Oh my God, and Shang-Chi. God damn it, I forgot about that.
You're literally
6.
wearing it.
I'm literally wearing the shirt.
But okay, so I would definitely No Way Home and Shang-Chi definitely above this movie.
Absolutely.
Those are 2 of the best projects to come out of Phase 4.
2 of the best projects out of all phases. I absolutely love Shang-Chi. I think that one, again, for some reason, could be a hit or miss with people. I think it's the most slept on MCU movie.
I mean, I like it a lot. It's just like not my favorite.
See, I loved it.
But anyway, I mean, again, I still liked it a lot. I honestly kind of want to put this above Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah?
I just feel like there was a stronger connection with each character than we saw in Multiverse of Madness. And to me, that's like more important because it gets me more involved in the story.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, no offense to the actress or anything or the character, but I could give a fuck about America Chavez.
Right.
Like, I did not feel a connection to that character at all, at least with what we saw in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
But like in the 10 minutes that we saw Gorr's daughter,
right,
already invested in this character.
Well, because they didn't even give us any sort of background with America Chavez. They showed us one scene of her childhood, of her mother's being sucked away by her powers, and that's it.
That was literally it.
That was it.
And I'm like all about learning more about the love in Love and Thunder.
And that was like in the midst of their adventure as well with Doctor Strange, because with Gorr, it was the opening scene. Right off the bat, we just get like straight, 7 minutes of Gorr.
Yeah.
So
I thought that was a great opening. And they did it before the Marvel credits too.
Yeah.
Which was different.
Yeah, that is different. That's why it seemed like it started so abruptly.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We all wait for that Marvel intro, but then I was like, oh shit, we're in the movie.
See, I'm really conflicted on putting this above Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. For some reason, I just want to put those two like literally on the same level.
They are very neck and neck,
but
I think this one is slightly above it. And I think the only thing that even like saves Multiverse of Madness is Wanda's performance.
Wanda's performance was great, but I also don't think there was a tonal issue as well in Multiverse of Madness.
True. They picked what they wanted and went with it. This one had a hard time deciding between the comedy and like scary aspect.
Yeah.
But honestly, I feel like those could have been a good balance as well if they just included more of the creepy stuff that they recorded, because when they had so much comedy, and then they just like kind of threw in these creepy scenes, it's like, it's like pick, are you going to be a comedy or are you going to be creepy? But it's like, if they had an even balance, then it's like, this movie is both.
Yeah.
And they would have like committed to that.
So essentially what we're trying to say is we just needed more gore.
Literally. Like, honestly, like I said, biggest flaw of this movie, not enough Christian Bale, not enough gore.
Damn, bro. Because I feel like if you get a person like Christian Bale to play your villain, fuck, man, you need to give him some screen time.
Seriously.
You need to give him screen time.
Honestly, I think this could have been another movie like Infinity War, where this was a villain-focused movie.
It could have been. And I feel like definitely someone that we could have, well, here's the thing though, too. I know we don't want him to be killed, but, if he doesn't have his sword, then he's not Gorr the God Butcher.
True. And, and they already destroyed the sword.
Yeah.
Which is like, bro, stop destroying all the cool shit in Marvel.
Because that's the very first symbiote.
Yeah.
The sword's the very first symbiote.
That's a whole nother thing.
Which I don't think they really... Did they really do that with this?
Technically, Venom's like in the MCU.
Sure, it is. Well, yeah, symbiote's in the MCU, but I guess, I'm saying like, is that what Thor Love and Thunder acknowledged, that the sword was symbiote? Because they didn't say anything about it, and it does infect him, which obviously that's what symbiotes do.
Yeah. But I mean, I really don't know what their direction is. it pisses me off that they keep getting rid of all the cool shit. It's like, Marvel does have a limited amount of stuff you can make out of it. I mean, granted, they have a shitload of it to go off of.
Yeah.
But you can run out eventually, and at the rate you're going, you're well on your way to be there of running out of shit to use.
Right. So in the end, essentially, I thought the actors gave great performances. It was just a tonal issue, and I feel like had an effect on the story as well.
Yeah, I think it definitely suffered from a little bit of lack of direction.
Right.
Lack of direction, and also the time cut bullshit.
Right. And, it's tough. Like you said, lack of direction, is it fair to put that on Taika? I mean, because obviously there was a lot that was cut, but then he was told that it needs to be under 2 hours. So, his hands are kind of tied.
Yeah.
Then at the same time, obviously I never want to question someone's work ethic, but, is Taika kind of getting like a little too careless? Because Disney is kind of working him a lot lately. He is on a lot of projects. He's got Thor Love and Thunder that he just did. They want him. He's directing, a Star Wars film coming out that, he's going to be needing to work a lot on. He directed an episode of The Mandalorian.
Well, then maybe it's not lack of work ethic, but just too much work.
Yeah, too much work to focus on one project.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I'd probably give this movie like a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's my personal rating, but
7 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. Thought it was better than Multiverse of Madness.
I mean, maybe I was going into it with too many expectations. Obviously, when I first saw this trailer, I wasn't expecting some groundbreaking Marvel movie that's going to keep moving this phase 4 along, but I was just expecting a fun film, which it was.
Yeah, it was. It was visually entertaining.
Right.
And it was funny. And, it kept my eyes on the screen.
Yeah, it did.
And they had some badass rock music, which is always good.
Yes, I was going to say the sound. So we saw this movie twice. The first time was not a good experience because our theater, the audio was so off. It was so quiet, and we couldn't enjoy the music in this, all the rock and roll music.
Couldn't enjoy the music. Couldn't enjoy the action scenes. Like, how are you supposed to enjoy an explosion when there's no bass?
Right,
like,
yeah.
There was literally no bass for, like, the entire movie. We could barely hear people talking.
Yeah.
We were so pissed. We even went to management, and that was a whole thing.
Whole fiasco.
But, yeah, and then we went and saw it in Dolby at AMC.
Yep.
Holy shit, AMC... Best freaking movie theaters out there, honestly, in my opinion.
I mean, it was night and day.
Yeah, night and day. Absolutely amazing sound. Like, I'm literally shaking in my seat from the bass.
Right, yeah.
In this Dolby theater. If you haven't seen any movies in Dolby, go see a movie in Dolby and tell me that's not like the best movie experience you've had.
Cinemark has given me some pretty good experiences lately.
True.
I will say, with Top Gun, that was a good experience.
That was good.
That was good. And then one last thing before we wrap this up. Damn it, I did want to see more of Guardians.
Yes, that would have been good to see.
Yeah. Man, when we saw Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pratt interacting in Endgame, it was great.
Yeah, I wish we could have gotten like a little bit of more Guardians adventures with Thor.
The Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, they just kind of like did a quick little montage.
Yeah, that was just how it led into the story.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, the scenes that we did get with them were freaking gold though.
Yeah.
They were funny.
But yeah, so in the end, if you want to go and have a fun time in a movie theater, definitely go see this movie. It's not a groundbreaking MCU movie.
No.
All right, so that's going to do it for our review on Thor Love and Thunder. I hope everyone enjoyed special guest Thor on this show.
Yeah, it was really hard to get him on.
Yeah. And thanks again for wherever you're listening on, podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok. Make sure you give us a follow and a like and review if you can. As always, I'm your host, Blake, and with me, my co-host, Garrett. And we will see you guys next time on Blake's Takes.
See you guys.